The time is now 10:03. Do you know where your local celestial bodies are aligned? Hi, I'm Gary. Welcome to Fladge Rants Live. Did anybody witness the alignment? Syzygy. It's when three celestial bodies line up in a straight line, and I saw it today. I wore the sunglasses that are currently around Picard's neck because I don't know, we don't have the budget to tape them up. But we might soon. A podcast that averages 300 views per week, we got 100,000 views last week. That's reason to celebrate. I'll drink to that. I don't know what happened. We didn't do anything different, really. But I appreciate it. I appreciate being appreciated. We always say we don't do this for views, and that kind of changed when we got 100,000 views. I don't know about my buddies here, but I only speak for myself. But it felt really, really good. Galileo Galilei was persecuted and convicted of heresy and sentenced to life in prison for being right. They were, at the time, the Roman Catholic Church had a death grip on Italy, and the Ptolemy said that the Earth was the center of the solar system. Aristotle said the Earth was stationary, and that was considered dogma at the time. Fixed science, and it could not be overturned by evidence, apparently. That is a pitfall with all dogma. Galileo was one of the greatest Italian inventors and philosophers, professor, and considered the father of science. Ptolemy has come up on this podcast before because he was somehow associated with the Piri-Reis map. So he was a smart dude as well, a great cartographer that knew stuff way ahead of his time. And Aristotle was great. We talk about the Greeks all the time. But it was just too soon. He didn't have all the information that we have now. And as you gain more information, you should be able to adjust your view. That's what's dangerous about dogma. The alignment of the celestial bodies today should remind us of that, and that's what I'm using it as. The 100,000 views, I don't know what that's trying to tell us. But this week I was actually studying the mind-body problem, and I was trying to get a list of what's going on with mind. Is it an emergent property of the brain? And I know it has nothing to do with eclipses, and usually I try to tie it in some backwards way. Nope, just throwing it out there. Emotional processing, intellect, language. Imagine how your thoughts would be processed if you didn't have the English language, or whatever your original language is. It would be very different. Some experiments have led us to believe that creatures with reasonably high intellects, but no language, no complicated speech, can answer, like, put things in order, and they test faster than humans do because everything we think about is filtered through our language processing. I found that interesting that some of our great ape cousins can respond faster on a computer test, put these colors in order, in the order in which you see them, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they can do it faster than we can because they don't have that language filter system. Now, I think consciousness is a gradient. I think it's a spectrum from a low level of consciousness, all the way up to human and beyond. We are familiar with our own because that's what we experience on a daily basis. But we can witness consciousness at other levels. My dog's reasonably intelligent. There are arguments that can be made that dolphins and whales are just as smart as humans. Pigs and dogs are pretty smart. We've done tests on rats and mice and crows that use tools and learn things. We've seen basic primates learn how to fish from watching humans or other primates fishing. That's pretty impressive stuff. And we are getting smarter with every generation because we're standing on the shoulders of giants. This is, I think human beings have stopped evolving, but as a society, we've got another level of evolution that isn't natural selection, but it's like cultural evolution. And that's what we're dealing with now. And as time goes by, it's actually increasing at a scary rate. So, I mean, we're dangerous now. But if a meteorite was flying towards Earth and we could detect it, well, we'd have a fighting chance as we get smarter and I hate to say it, weapons development, because that's where our money's going, into crazy ass arms races. But natural selection has always been an arms race. That's why the peregrine falcon is so fast and the predators blend into their environment so well. Their ancestors didn't blend into the environment so well, but as the peregrine falcon got better eyesight and faster flight, the predators the prey that survived had to develop better and better skills at avoiding the fast and well gifted hunters out there. And so that is a natural arms race. Whereas now we're in this crazy ass war. Well, war. The war is not the topic. I guess we'll just stick with celestial bodies, but we're gonna have to deal with a cataclysm, and the only way to avoid dying off as a species is to curtail the catastrophe or get the hell off the planet. This is the best place that I know of to live, so we need to do a good job of protecting it from giant celestial bodies crashing into us. Boys, should we celebrate? 100,000 views. What do you think about that? Is it as crazy as it sounds to me? I used to get a majority of the views. I would just sit there and watch it 20 times, and then we'd get 40 views, and I'm half of them.
I still think that's what happened. You just watched it 20.
I watched it 100,000 times.
Yeah.
How long do I have to click on it before I click back on it and for it to count as a view? I don't even know.
100,000.
And how many of those 100,000 just like a second at a time? Because that's still a long time sitting there clicking.
I hear somebody clicking.
I tried to get Bob to come back on because that was the only difference. Bob and Brother called in, and we've never had a call in before, and then all of a sudden we blow up. Coincidence?
I would have to agree, even though there's no proof of it.
Wow.
Nice.
That was
I
so
have
fitting.
to agree with you on that issue, man.
Wow, Bob. He's something
Sounds like
else.
he's a really nice guy, and I'm not doubting that. Want to say what's up to Fladge? Fladge, what's up, buddy?
That's good stuff. What do you have to say about the third guy? Brady, nice to meet you.
Sounds like Bob is a paranoid schizo about like some homosexuals like hitting on him or like waving to him hello. So that's all I'd like to say.
Oh, these are great clips. Okay, so we still have the clips that got us 100,000 views.
Yep, they're still here.
Well, great.
Let's just
play last week's.
The clips that got us all the views.
I would have to agree, even though there's no proof of it.
Even though there's no proof of it.
Well, you know there's no proof of it. You believe. You believe. You have to believe.
I don't know. It seems like faith is in a dishonest position.
You know, man, if it wasn't for believing in God, man, you wouldn't have anything in life, man.
In what sense would you not have anything in life? I don't think it actually would make a difference. Like, so if I found out, like, if God actually came down and spoke to me, that would change my belief, but it wouldn't change my life.
That's why Gary's a mindless trendy, man.
Mindless trendy? Oh gosh, these drops are great. Am I feeding right into
the heart and the soul, man? You know, because otherwise you're not going to make it in this world, man.
I think I already made it in this world. I mean, look at this place.
I would have to agree, even though there's no proof of it.
Oh yeah, you make a good point, Bob. Holy crap, we could just play that all day. We can have Bob respond to everything I said.
Trump really believes in the Bible.
Believes
in the Bible.
He's got a Christian symbol on his arm. I found out, I was reading up about Moses. It is believed that he had a speech impediment. That's got to hurt the ability to lead people. Speech impediment? And especially in that day, those people were outcast. Speaking of outcast, can we play Hey Ya? No, we can't.
No.
We don't own the rights to that.
No.
Hey, can I have music playing in the background for our May 4th interview?
Gary.
I'll be right back. I have to go find a new jabber.
Gary. G-A-R-Y. Gary. G-A-R-Y, Gary. G-A-R-Y, Gary. Gary.
Got it?
Gary! What are you doing, Gary? Let's
Gary!
go, Gary! Start moving! You're blowing everything we trained for! Get going, Gary! Go! Gary, are you listening to me?
No.
Not good enough, Gary! Not good enough!
Okay.
So by siding with Copernicus, Galileo signed his prison warrant. Fighting dogma is here's where he was in the minority. Oh, we got breaking news. This just in?
Yeah, something about Galileo.
Oh, Galileo was sentenced to life in prison, even though, and now hear me out on this, he was against the vast majority, but right. So it is quite possible about the Earth not being stationary, the heliocentric theory of the solar system.
At the time, or you still think that's a theory?
It's a scientific theory.
Okay.
So,
The scientific theory doesn't mean what you think it is.
Brady brought up earlier about not being able to see the moon. I didn't pay attention because I was driving, but
New moon, you can't see it.
how does that play into the flat Earth theory? I'm sure there's plenty of conspiracy out there that.
Oh, I would love to hear a flat earther's take on what just happened. Because
There's plenty. That's
you know what?
They have
I
plenty to
take
say
it
about
back. I don't need to hear a flat earther's interpretation of what that was in the sky today, because we know very well the new moon passed in front of the sun, and we also know that you can't see a new moon because we're looking at the dark side. And even though
it was a serious
Yes.
question, it might have been retarded, but it was a serious question.
okay, well, it's hundreds of thousands of miles in front of the sun, but the sun is so bright and shining on the other side of the moon, we're looking at the dark side.
So the moment, I mean, literally the second you said that, it was incredibly obvious to me.
Right.
Because the sun being on the other side
Other side.
of it.
Yes.
But looking at it, and when I texted you, didn't occur to me. I was wondering why when it went out of the brightness of the sun, why I couldn't see the moon.
Yeah. When I noticed your text message, I just sent you 2 words: new moon.
So yes, yeah, I thought that was the name of your electric fence company.
Oh
So-
yeah, New Moon Electric.
I thought you
Yeah,
were-
the Invisible Fence
I
Company.
thought you were a big Twilight fan.
Here's it's a lot more evident in a lunar eclipse than it is a solar eclipse, but here's the flat Earth lunar eclipse.
Oh yes, yeah, that's what it would look like.
So is there any scientific like theory on because they both line up? I mean, sure, it would happen, but anything that matters that like we're extra pulled on in that direction, our planet or our tides?
A little bit.
Because I find it weird that we're suspended with gravity, the sun and the earth and the moon, yet somehow we still have a iron core that is able to override that, and we have a compass that works to our planet, yet the sun is so strong it holds our earth in orbit. Why aren't we centrally located with a compass towards the sun? Like what's all that about? Anybody know?
It is just that.
It is
far
weird.
away, but the compass.
I'm sure there's a map.
The compass works to the nearest magnet.
Yeah. The
The compass is working to the nearest magnet.
The most strongest one. The most strongest
Yeah,
magnet. If the sun plays on the Earth at the distance that it is, and the Earth is so large, why are we on the Earth and it's playing on our core when it should be pointing towards the sun?
You know
right?
how magnets don't suck each other in until you get them close enough.
Ooh,
We're
they
not
don't
close
suck
enough
at
to
all,
the
actually.
sun.
you got my attention. What are you
Magnets don't-
talking about?
don't
Sucking
suck.
in?
But take 2 magnets and keep them apart until they pull together. There's a distance at which they get close enough to attract and actually to move on their own.
So the
But
sun
there
is
is also a
Sure.
too far away.
Yes, I am sure that the magnets won't pull together from a foot apart unless they're that powerful. The sun is that far away, and we are, by the way, right on
By the
the
way.
Earth. We're almost in contact with the Earth.
Are you?
In fact,
Almost. You got shoes on?
Right, exactly. I've got shoes on, but I've got Earth under my shoes.
Well, some people have reached their leg up where they don't have dirt floors. By the way.
Right, yeah, I know. See, I've made it. I finally made it. 100,000 views and dirt floors.
Maybe you can afford some.
I feel like
linoleum.
a shirt with a collar. I've really made it. Today I dropped. I've got a bachelor pad this week. Dropped off my wife at the airport, and picked up her best friend on the way.
One-way ticket?
Oh, this story's getting good.
Hey.
Hold on.
But yeah, oh yeah, it's
Does
spring break.
You're on public. I mean, does your wife know you picked up her best friend?
No, she doesn't listen. She doesn't listen to the show. We've established that early.
Neither one
Wait.
of them did.
I
Or you
assumed
know what?
the best friend was a female. Hold on.
They started watching last week. That might be the difference. Roll the clip, Brady.
I got a
can't.
clip. It's about magnets. No, we're going back to magnets. Here we go.
I see miracles
Okay.
all the
I gotta turn the sound on. I don't ever realize that until there's no sound.
fire, air, and dirt. Fucking magnets, how do they work? And
Yeah, I don't think we can
Right.
play this on YouTube.
Insane Clown Posse?
It's from YouTube actually, but
Yeah, that's usually what stops it. Somebody
I
else.
know.
Right.
Well, you
Yeah.
should do the.
Yeah.
You should do the.
No, it's on
you
I
YouTube,
will
so
stop
it's-
it just because it's
I
ICP.
found it. Hold on.
We're
You just solved the whole thing. If it's already on YouTube, we could play it. It's already on YouTube. So what's the problem?
That's usually how I roll. Yeah, if anything, it's just going to get they're going to take the
No, we've
monetization
done this
if there isn't
before.
any of that anyway.
This is what gets us flagged.
Yeah. You guys, we got
You
flagged for
four corner
we
it.
got flagged for a car radio while you guys were handing a box.
Oh yeah.
You've got a four
Oh,
corner.
I want to do an unboxing today, but it'd be pretty boring. I've got 2 boxes of Girl Scout cookies. One says Margaret,
What?
and the other says drawer. And then I could just pull out boxes one by one, but it would be so disappointing after like 2 or 3, because then you'll realize they're all red.
Is it disappointing like the Eclipse, which the Eclipse is very much like this?
It was anticlimactic.
Dude, I disagree, man. I came. It was so at first I was it was like, okay, waiting. And then I was sharing glasses, so I probably had pink eye, but I was
A
sharing the
reductionist
glasses
view of
with
what
everyone.
God is, and they'll say there's no proof.
And
I
listen,
saw William
And that,
Shatner.
you know, there are
I came
scouts
to-
At a
and
viewing party.
atheists,
I
and a lot
came
of them
to a
they even talk.
conclusion that
Jesus
the
Christ,
Yes.
world
sort of thing.
the world needs some type of a rippling event to get back in sync every once in a while. I do it in the shower breathing. I do this yoga breathing exercises that gets my body back in sync.
Weird.
It's
What does
not
that even
weird.
mean?
So I just
That's weird.
I started to
Back in sync with what?
appreciate, even though it was mundane, the fact we all decided to look at it. It was a resetting event that the world needs
Oh,
to become more
it
in
was-
sync. And
No.
everyone agreed it was mediocre, mundane,
yeah.
non-climactic, unclim.
But what about like native tribal people? They've probably thought the world was coming to an end.
Without
They
knowing
probably
that,
had. They probably got blinded. They
See,
didn't have
we-
fancy
we-
glasses, paper
That's-
glasses.
that's why I thought
Yeah,
it was a
those- yeah.
great event. We
Yeah,
talked
the-
about
the,
that.
the cardboard glasses. Oh wait, wrong side.
If-
He's got
Oh yeah, I forgot. I was going to show up with my glasses on, and I left them. The we talked about that. Imagine the caveman times when it was just do everyday life, and all of a sudden they'd be as bad as the turkeys. Did you see there was no birds? The birds thought it was 5 a.m. Like it was another morning out of the blue. They were all beside themselves. They don't know what's going on.
I
The
was
humans
driving. I
wouldn't
had extra bugs on my windshield. It was
The
quite
light
odd.
was-
I only had bugs.
the light was super eerie. My dogs were playing like it was normal.
No,
like,
yeah,
no
the
big deal.
animals aren't. It was no different than a cloud cover. It wasn't any darker than a storm, except there was no storm.
I
It was
disagree. I
kinda
disagree
eerie.
because there's things that get triggered with the circadian rhythms, and all animals, all mammals, at least I know. I don't know if insects do, but anything that revolves around the sun. I bet you plants
Ooh.
even too, photosynthesis, they all triggered. Flowers closed up. It was way more than just cloud cover. They knew the difference because the sun goes right
No,
through the
they
cloud cover. The sun does not go right through the moon.
No, they didn't.
It goes around it a little bit, but it was definitely nightfall for 13 minutes.
I love how you mentioned that circadian rhythm ties all life together. That kind of ties with my levels of intellect thing.
How so? Do you need
Levels
some
of
shoe? Do you need
intellect.
some shoelaces so you can examine?
Levels
Yeah,
of
to tie
intellect.
it.
You mean
Um,
how many levels are there? 2, 1, and 2.
Oh no, it's a continuum. So much of a large spectrum, you can't tell one from the other.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, there are no distinctions between levels, but there's some humans that are straight retarded, and some dolphins that are geniuses. So, like it's like the shuffling of the deck.
Who's the dolphin on the show?
Yeah, I was trying to make a dolphin noise, but
I know. I already deleted the dolphin noise because you
can't
told
do
me that it was
right now.
it was the JRE one. Yeah, it was the exact same one.
We're like
I
the
didn't- I
least
didn't pull it.
retarded dolphin of Fladgecast.
I
That's
don't
not
know.
a
I feel like there's 2 perfectly fine dolphins and 1 retarded dolphin, and I'm not saying that.
So I'll be the
I've
only
always
honest
prided
one here.
myself on being
The answer
Okay.
to that is I don't know. It depends on
Yeah,
what
I'm-
we're talking about.
right. I've always prided myself on being the smartest guy in the room, and lately I just haven't felt that way. I still don't remember what the thing I remembered was.
Do you, that means that you didn't remember.
No, I did. I brought it
Here's
home.
that's a new word I started hearing lately. Misremember. You mean
Misremember.
you mean you forgot? It
Gary's
doesn't
a mic.
It doesn't
No,
matter. I
no.
understand the difference is your brain is thinking something else to replace it, but it still means you
Yes.
forgot. That the one doesn't change the fact that you forgot. It's just well, I didn't forget. I'm misremembering. No, you forgot,
I'm
and you're making
misremembering.
bullshit up. It's the same thing.
It is very much
They
bullshit.
call them dumps, big, massive dumps.
Yeah. I thought it was Trump.
that's
pronounced Trump.
Drawers, floors, floors. Let's go.
That's from a
Barry?
kid's. That's from a kid's show, by the way.
Yeah, so is this.
where's Pantosaurus? I thought he'd call in by now.
So, all right, I got something for Pantosaur. All right, it's a half an
Best
hour.
way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to.
That's not really Trump.
Yeah,
I mean Biden. I've never heard
Best
him
way to
say
get
5
something
words in a
done.
row.
No,
Yeah, roll the clip, Brady.
I can't.
You
There are
can.
no clips. We're on YouTube. There are no clips.
I know.
Disclaimer: the unfiltered and crude proclamation of jabber speech. Gibber,
already
folks,
leaving?
listen up. Before we dive
Yep.
gibber into this circus of crudeness
Fucking
and
right.
uncensored banter, here's our no-nonsense disclaimer, served with a side of Fladge humor. Gibber, look, we're here for a good time, not a gibber-correct time, all right? In this crazy world, we're snowflakes, applesauce, and jabber a critic. We're just trying to spread some joy without stepping on too many toes. So, here, jabber, article I, let's get jabber, the sole gibber of our discourse, be it from guests, hosts, or any random loudmouth, is to tickle your funny bone, tease your gray matter, and illuminate the path to a mirthful existence. Any semblance of seriousness is gibber accidental. Article 2, jabber everyone equally. We're equal gibber offenders, all right? We don't give a hoot about your gibber, race, religion, or whether you prefer cats or dogs. We're here to roast everyone from politicians to gibber to our own sorry selves. No gibber safe, not even grandma's apple pie. Article 3, screw political jabber. Listen, we ain't here to hold your hand or jabber anything. So if our jabber offend you, tough luck. We're not responsible for any ruffled feathers or gibber feelings. But hey, if you can take the heat, we promise we'll dish out some belly laughs and maybe a couple of gibber. Article I gibber, fake news alert. The tales, rumors, and downright lies you hear here are as gibber as a $3 bill. Any resemblance to real life events or people, whether alive or pushing up daisies, is purely gibber and probably a result of us hitting the bottle too hard. We're pretty sure the earth is round, but jabber, who cares? Article D, jabber, cause why not? Parody and gibber are bread and butter, folks. Any likeness to actual people or characters is just us having a laugh, not a reason for a jabber. We might not be the smartest gibber in the jar, but we sure know how to stir up some trouble. So, in closing, if you've made it this far without getting your undies in a gibber, then congrats, you're our kind of people. We're just here to crack a few tasteless jokes, spread some jabber joy, and remind everyone that life's too short to be serious all the frickin' time. So buckle up, buttercup, and get ready for a wild ride through the absurd gibber of our humor while Fladge Rants live.
Yeah.
YouTube, you're doing
Yeah.
better, but you still have a long way to go. Bye-bye.
Yeah, you still suck. You still blow. You still blow because you can't do shit like this.
Yeah, you should. Before I click the button, you should think of something like "as above, so below," but something how YouTube blows. As Rumble.
As above, so you blow.